I think your hands and your arms and all that stuff's doing pretty well.
That's because I'm working on it here.
It looks good.
One of the things when we were in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
the golf guy there had he took a swing stick and put it on my club and had me just hit. Because I start hitting myself,
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yep.
Because then you're not getting the lag right. You're not loading properly.
Could be one thing. It could be that your body's not turning, right? If the stick's going to hit you in the side, the body had to turn out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, that stick in the under the shaft is one of my favorites. I love that.
Yeah, Andrew stuck one in my bag. I haven't used it yet, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're striking it well. You're moving well, like moving the club well. I think that the biggest thing that I'd like to see today is we get a little bit more action of you moving your body back and forth this way more.
instead of just being pinned.
Well, when you make your turn, you turn a little bit forward in your turn. So it's not quite a turn behind the ball. It'll almost be a turn on the forward side of you. And then from there on your downswing, you return back to center. And it's
Which
not...
is what I'm all over Andrea about.
Very much the same, yeah. She drops this so much that it forces her forward and she's stuck down there.
She
So,
needs something up against her head so she can't do it.
or just find a way to lift this foot off the ground in her backswing.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Or maybe having her tip her toe up
Yep.
or something.
Yep. So we talked about that as of the third hole the other day. But I think that for where you're going with this, I'd like to see if we use the ball as a reference point. Can you feel as though that you turn your whole body from, like, I don't know, here up, has to get behind the golf ball and then go?
Try that. My old bad thing was always
Yeah.
right.
So
as long as I get to that straight left leg,
mm-hmm.
but I used to shove the knees, and I find myself doing that sometimes.
Yeah.
I have a cant problem on this ankle where
Okay.
it leans out. So if I get my weight out,
Yeah, I remember that.
it tends to collapse out.
It does.
Right, and then how do I get back?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So I maybe overreacted to
So
that.
we could almost look at this as though it's just kind of a turn around this back leg, but on the way through, that's definitely where I want you to feel like you're getting closer to the target, that you're moving into it more. Like,
Kind of not up over it, around over it. Right?
yeah, okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
the right?
That was a great move. That was a good look.
Probably why when I'm hitting drivers too, I feel like if I'm doing this, I'm blocking it. I can't.
When you back up this way, it speeds up the grip too much, so we could have pulls and big cuts.
Yeah, I'm hitting them.
Yeah, okay.
If I look at my stat at the end of the day, I hit 5 fairways and missed 5 and missed 5.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's use the golf ball as your reference point and really try to feel like you can turn your body behind the ball and then way in front of the ball. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Okay.
Felt a little better.
Okay. So ultimately, the biggest thing you're going to feel is a momentum shift, is a mass shift, that you're rocking to one foot, rocking to the other foot. And it's not so much golf rotation, it's really just straight lines, right? Make everything move to the right and then make everything move to the left.
In all of that might help. way a little, I think.
Okay.
Too. I think, from what I've looked at on my own videos.
Okay.
It felt a little more solid too. Am I there or no? More to go?
Let's go. Let's keep going. I want to make sure that I give you the right piece of advice for the next one. That was good.
Was it?
Yes. Yes, that was very good. And so what's your target line right now?
Oh, I don't have one.
Yeah, okay.
Let me start a new line. Interesting too. Both of these are curved.
I think you slowly started to move your alignment to the right.
Yeah.
So let's just pick a tree, pick a space, something like that.
Yeah, over that red flag.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to diagnose this by where the ball goes. If the ball goes too far to the left, you need to get more forward on the follow through. If you pull it, you're too far behind it. Yeah, they're good. Yep. And so because I'm really asking you to shift yourself from right to left of the golf ball, right, there's going to be that timing piece, that where am I supposed to get down to the ground piece that's going to change on you a little bit. But I mean, the fundamental of any athletic movement is being able to get a little bit of movement back this way. And we can kind of think of this like the baseball player, that the weight has to go forward before we load and throw something, right? So I want it to feel that you're going, that your, this is a cool one, that your weight transfer from start to finish happens in the backswing. So if I think about this, I started 50-50, right? I've done all my weight transfer to the back foot by the time the club gets to here, but by the time the club gets to the top, I'm already forward. So the weight transfer happens only in the backswing. By the time the club changes direction, there's no more weight transfer happening.
Wow.
So I think of it, or I feel it, as though that by the time my club gets to the top of my swing, that's when I've landed forward. Back and forward, and I land forward when this gets to the top. And that's where the stack and tilt guys had it right. 80% of your weight and your front foot at the top of your swing. They had it right. Yeah. So I think that trigger of like getting onto this front foot has to be more exaggerated, and it has to happen when the club gets to the top. And this is going to be your timing piece to it. Can you get your transfer from right foot to left foot to happen before the club changes direction?
I'd always thought about trying to initiate the downswing with the knee or the hip.
Yeah.
So I gotta feel the weight move too.
Yeah. Let's just get it into the feet, into the legs. Okay. So that sped up your tempo a little bit. I like it. Give me another one like that. That sped things up a little bit. Okay. Another one. Yeah, great shot. So if this feels like this picks up your tempo, that you're swinging faster at it, terrific. What a great way to get to that without telling you, hey, I want you to swing faster.
Yeah, getting a little more action and speed in there.
Yes, and it's starting from your lower body. So like what's making the club change direction is the fact that you've got to your front foot. So if we go back foot for the first half of the backswing, as soon as you get to the front foot, that's what makes this change direction. So if we think that the top of the swing is like an event and that's when it goes from back down, well, it's getting to this foot that makes that happen.
I understand the logic.
Okay? I know, it's going to be the tough one.
Everything I've always done.
I hear that a lot in our lessons. Yeah, good. Little thin.
Think about golf, everything's opposite. Got to remember to make sure I turn my hips too. I think I just rocked on that one.
So getting the pelvis more forward will also give it the turn. I want to see the pelvis get more forward to start with. Like take rotations out of it. I need to see that you rock your body to the back foot, to the back side, to the front side. I'm not concerned with rotations yet. So like in a 3D evaluation, you would turn and move your hips at an elite level. It's nothing, it's never short, it's never shy. But if the hips go this way in the upswing or in the backswing, they go forward and then they go back to the middle, it's not the rotation that's the problem, it's where they are when they're rotating.
Where they are in the universe.
Yes, and I need to get those bones going back this way and then forward that way. And that's going to rock your momentum.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next move is
Onto the front foot and finish the swing.
down, not onto it above, down on the lower body too.
Yes, and that down thing happens right when the club changes direction. Good. Good. And I'm hoping that we get a little more zip out of the golf ball by you feeling like you rock your body a little bit. Not from turn, not from wrists.
More dynamic out the front door.
Totally. Because I think you're, like I said, arm motion, wrist action, all that stuff's great. I just need to get the whole motion to look a little bit more athletic. Yeah, I like this. Yep. So a lot of this is in your footwork, trying to feel like you can get your feet to move all the weight to the right foot and all the weight to the left foot before this starts coming down.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm getting that transition at the top.
I think you're doing really well with it. And if it's back there for too long, we can get those. Yep, good. Coming out just a little right.
Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to my usual draw. Or pull. Trying to over-accentuate it.
That's okay. Okay. So I think that the motion from right to left looks pretty good. I think you're doing this a fair amount. I can see it in the missed ball hits and the good ball hits. But I think that sometimes when you transfer your weight forward, the next step is you swing your arms around you instead of transferring the weight forward and then getting you to face the target. So let's think about that once you feel like you've moved this way, that you've got to get this pointed that way. Yeah. But everything else looks really good. I wouldn't change a thing.
Don't feel like my club's square.
It looks good. Yeah, that looked like in your backswing that everything loaded up to the top all at the same time. So when you start moving through, the hands can work way faster and they get ahead of the race down there.
Hence, I get there too early.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like the transfer...
Opposed to you sort of want to get them ahead so you don't do that. Right?
Yep. Yep. So another way for me to put this is that you're at the top of the backswing for way too long. Like a pause at the top would be the exact opposite of what I'd try and get you to do. Transfer sooner, transfer quicker, make your swing take less time. It's not length, it's time. It's when it gets there, it goes to the top and everything stops for a second. I don't want anything to stop. Yeah. Way different. You tried to get, it looked like you turned your body toward the target as the club was changing direction. So you changed direction, then the club changed direction.
Felt good too. How do I get that feeling to happen all the time?
Yep. We're going to come up with some type of concept that makes it happen, whether it's shorter time or transfer forward before the club finishes coming toward me.
Trying to speed up makes me do an old habit, which is getting my hands going faster.
Yeah, and it's speeding up in the weight transfer. It's making your weight transfer in your feet take less time. And so that the speedy might not feel too much in your hands as it does your whole body. Right? Like trying to get my weight from going to the right foot then into the left foot in a shorter period of time shortens my entire swing up. It makes my club change direction. It makes me change direction before I'm ready. But that's the stretch I'm looking for. To go from here and start moving forward, and all of a sudden this stretches out, lags a little longer, and you can release it at the bottom a little bit better. Back, forward. I was definitely on my front foot as I still saw the club going back up. So that's kind of the transition. That's what we used to see Hogan do all the time. He did that so well that as he started to turn, he would transfer his weight forward before he got to the top of his swing. So he was already there. He just had to turn to the target from there. So I'm trying to get you to feel as though that your body, that everything moves this way early, but as the arms go up, you go forward. Right? So everything moves away from the target at the same time. All the science shows that the maximum amount of weight transfer happens here, before the club gets even with the ground, still down here. So as I lift this up and keep turning in the backswing, that's when I move off my back foot. I'm already there.
Because I had that lag. I'm really working hard to just get to there before I do anything.
Okay.
But I need to start the weight moving over there.
Yeah, give it a little slide as you get there. So it's going to go like slide to there. Right? Move everything back that way. Now I know you have the trouble with the foot, so it might just feel like it's just pushing the foot down. It doesn't have to move weight, just push the foot down.
Weight in the middle of the foot.
Yeah. And then as it goes up from here, weight goes forward, you turn through.
Sorry, as it goes from here.
Yep.
So as I go up from here.
You're going forward. Yeah. Up with the arms, forward with your weight. There you go. Good. And so some of the guys now are calling this recentering. I moved off the ball early, but as I get to the top, my weight transfer forward recenters me, and then I go. Nicholas did it really well.
Plus, I got to be able to hit some low stingers into the wind and let them have it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right? It's a whole different.
And that's just going to mean that you almost want to feel like you just get forward the most. Stay forward. Yep. Nice job.
Wow, that's a different feeling.
Perfect. Very good. So I really think it's so far away from grip, setup, posture, and what your arms are doing in the backswing. It's more about getting your feet to be a little bit more of the engine to make what you normally do more dynamic. But I like it. I think this is great. You know, my favorite was working with a golfer where we talked a very similar thing, and I had him on video, and I was asking him to feel like he could move back and forth more. Because he really, in his backswing, he moved all the way to his front foot, and in his downswing, he finished all the way on his back foot, right? And he couldn't feel that. So I'd show him on video, I'm like, this is what you're doing. He's like, okay, I'll fix it. One swing later, exact same
Back
thing.
to it.
And so when I told him, hey, I need you to feel like you sway a whole bunch in one direction and slide a whole bunch in the other direction, he would tell me that he's not doing it. And you put him on video, and it's like literally, it's 6 inches in either direction. So the feel to it sometimes doesn't quite match up to the real. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna blow the tee box.
That's okay. We got lots of tee box here. That's far. I like that one.
A little tail off. Which
Yep.
is, you know, trying to feel that weight transfer to my right foot.
Good. Okay.
Sure. Great.
I think with the driver, it's going to feel like your transition is the shortest, quickest, and hardest. Up, down, up, down. Like Graham McDowell could be your swing model. Up, down. Just so fast back there because you've transferred your weight early.